Hey, good morning, everybody. It's 10:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in the beautiful state of Southern California. It is Saturday, August 30th, 2025. We're talking about IXHL, IXHL Health. Uh, and I just wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit about sentiment and so make a quick video. I got to keep it quick because I'm a little long in the tooth. I think we've learned that by now. So what my channel's called Pray Trade Repeat. I'm actually on the 101 freeway right now, headed to the Boyle Heights, East LA area to go to a 12-step meeting because I've been clean and sober for 2 years and 2 months. And I made a pact with my higher power that when I begged him for help, or it for help, I believe that higher power is actually within us. It's inside of us. Everyone has their own different higher power. I'm not. This is not a religious channel. Anyway, I asked that source on my knees a few years ago. Please help me, and if you help me, I will never use drugs and alcohol again. And so far, I have been given everything back, and my life is incredible, and I'm super grateful. So let's move on. So I prayed this morning, I meditated this morning, and I started to think about you guys, about everyone else, and what is going on. What is sentiment, right? So what is sentiment? And what kind of power does sentiment have? Well, let's talk about it. So there are four things that move the market. There are fundamentals, whether a company is profitable, whether it has good products, does it have a good balance sheet, does it have the ability to operate its finances correctly and efficiently. Then there is there's fundamentals. There's catalyst, right? So the catalyst, and so we've had some great catalysts. We've had some amazing catalysts. We've killed it on the catalysts. We had phase 2 top line results recently on the OSA, obstructive sleep apnea drug. Boom, like amazing. Of course, we get shorted. We had the general anxiety drug just released, phase 2 results, out of this world, successful results, like mind-blowing results. If you can look at some of my posts, I'm not going to get into the science of it all right now. So we have a general anxiety drug, we have a sleep apnea drug, and both are reporting mind-blowing results, like groundbreaking, world-changing, disrupting results for these two drugs, right? And of course, the moment they're announced, we get slammed down, the price gets slammed down. And here's where I want to get to. The point I want to get to is this. In my opinion, the stock should be trading between 175 and 225 per share at this point, given the catalysts that have come out. Remember, okay, let me go back to this because I'm losing my train of thought. You have four things that affect the stock: fundamentals, catalysts, sentiment, and macroeconomic conditions, global economic conditions and stressors like, interest rates and stuff like that. A crazy president who, so tariffs, etc., right? So here we go again. One more time. Four things that affect a stock and can make a stock move that we know of: fundamentals, catalyst, macroeconomic global conditions, politics, geopolitics, right? And what's the fourth one? Sentiment. Okay. What are we powerless over? We're powerless over fundamentals because we're not on the board. The company, we're not doctors, we're not making the drugs, right? So fundamentals, powerless. We have no power over that. The catalyst, we don't really have any power over when and if and what time this company is going to announce anything new. Like, the upcoming one is going to be earnings. We have phase 3 commencement, stuff like that, right? Buyouts, mergers. So we have no power over that. So we're powerless over fundamentals because we're not on the board. We're powerless over the catalysts, right? More or less, we're powerless over macroeconomic and global whatever conditions, right? We're powerless over whether or not Trump is going to announce, World War III or tariffs on 40 countries. And we're also powerless over the Fed chair policy and whether or not he's going to, reduce interest rates, right? So, okay, here we go. Last time. Powerless over fundamentals, powerless over catalyst, powerless over geoeconomic world conditions and politics, right? What are we not powerless over? We're not powerless over sentiment, right? And now more than ever, especially since GameStop and AMC in 2021, social media is defining sentiment, right? I don't agree with being on stock twits and arguing with morons and having stupid conversations and accusing people and insulting people. That's not any way to live your life, and you're just wasting a lot of your energy, right? However, sentiment, the one thing that we have power over as shareholders is is our part in moving the stock, okay? And okay, so let's talk about that. So okay, Brian, so what are you getting at here? So what I'm getting at is we need to stop being in fear and start getting in faith, because we have catalysts, we have fundamentals, right? So if we have the fundamentals and we have the catalysts, then why is the sentiment so sour, right? We have to ask ourselves, why are people scared and in fear that it's going to go down to 38 cents or it might go down to 20 cents again, instead of having faith and confidence and conviction that it should be at 1.75 or 2.25 or $5 or $9 or $22 or $43 or $100 a share, right? So as shareholders, we can do our part. All we need to do is start to change the narrative on Reddit, StockTwits, Twitter, everywhere, and start boasting how confident we are in the company. And that's how we can affect, and that's how we can do our part to change sentiment. Okay? So there's a saying in Narcotics Anonymous in the 6th step. It says that there's a certain distorted security in familiar pain. It seems safer to, basically, I'm going to paraphrase, it seems safer to embrace fear, doubt, and hate, which is you guys arguing with each other on Stock Twist. It seems safer because we're more comfortable with that, because we understand that, than it does to embrace the unknown, right? So it seems safer to, there's a certain distorted security in familiar pain. It seems safer to embrace all those negative things and negative feelings like fear and doubt, self-pity, than it does to have confidence and faith and conviction. And I'll leave it at that, guys. Like, it's up to us to change the narrative. It's up to us in IXHL to change the narrative and to have faith and conviction and confidence. Because the more that we know the share price is undervalued, and the more we're convicted and already know and have that faith, then the more our actions are going to will dictate the behavior necessary to change that narrative. Basically, remove our stop losses, have faith, have conviction, have confidence. I mean, look at the results. I mean, go to the website, go to the Inconnex website if you have to. But there's just one example after another of every reason to be confident. And that's it, man. It's never financial advice. I got 14 seconds left to say hello to everybody. If you're in this stock, you're in an amazing setup. Let's have some faith, confidence, and conviction, and change sentiment. Have a great